Hi guys and girls, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the last video. Obviously that was yesterday. Today I'm going to be putting the stats on and connecting up all this mess of wires we have over here. Yeah, just show you where I'm going to put the stats, how I connect all the mats into sort of one block obviously, or probably two blocks because I'm going to use two stats. But yeah, so we'll crack on, we get it all finished up and switched on, and hopefully, fingers crossed, all goes well. I might, if I get a minute as well, just show you how I set up a hatchling tub. But yeah, it's all go. Right, so as you can see, this is the back of the rack I've just done. You've got all the mats running down the back, got loads of space on the top of them because obviously the hatchling tubs are a bit shorter, which is why if I can move it without jigging you around too much, you can see that top shelf sits a bit shorter just because of obviously the shape of the loft as well, but the tubs sit good way forward under that still, but it gives me plenty of space on the back of these to be able to attach the thermostat. But yeah, so we'll get cracking, and I mean all the tools I'm going to be using is literally these two. Got a bit of duct tape as well, but yeah, I'll show you how I connect everything and hope it helps you guys. Right, so basically, I don't know why, but I always connect 3 mats into each block. It's just the way my old rack was set up, and that's why they're all taped into one big sort of block. I mean, this one is actually on a fused plate, but what I may do is connect these 3 and either these 3 and these 3. I'll take that off the end there and connect those into the fuse plate, because obviously with a fuse, if anything goes wrong, this will pop rather than anything happen to the mats. And then the bottom 3 will be individual, but I'll have the stats probably on, I'd say row 3 down here, and then maybe row 6, row 7, just to, you know, differentiate. But yeah, they'll be on individual stats. Obviously there'll be 6 mats on the one stat, but they'll be running through this, and then the other 3 at the bottom will be on their own. But yeah, so I'll get wiring and we'll see how it goes. I'll say this is very basic stuff. All you have to do is just know basic electrics. All you're doing is connecting the lives to the lives and the neutrals to the neutrals. It's not sort of rocket science, but I know some people worry when it comes to electrics. But like I say, this sort of thing, being on a fuse plate, the fuse in the plate will take the hit rather than the mats sort of set on fire. Yeah, it's just a safety precaution I like having. I will have just one switch as well for both thermostats, so it runs off of one plug rather than 2. I know some people use sort of multi-plug adapters, but I don't see the need when you can connect all the mats like I do in this way. And it's the stat I'll be using for the top 6 is a 600 watt stat. There's no way in the world that these add up to 600 watt. I mean, you're looking 30 watts a piece, so if there's 6 of them, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So 180 watts for a 600 watt stat. So there'll be plenty of space to undo those, so bear with me. So I normally like pausing while I'm doing stuff like this, but I'm showing you how to do it, I better not pause because you won't see what I'm doing. Normally come out. So basically what I'm going to do is obviously make sure everything's separate. I've already got a spare hole on the side of this, so we'll get the other 3. Those in here. I'll say this is all off of old racking I've had, so all half set up, shall we say. Basically, it's like anything else. Just get your wires together. I mean, it's the worst bit because you do end up stabbing your fingers a little bit here and there. There's nothing worse than a bit of copper wire stabbing you in the finger. Can be quite painful, but to be honest, my hands are quite used to it. I do quite a bit of this sort of stuff at work. And I don't know if you can see in here, it's pretty straightforward again. You got the live and neutral in, I'll put that back in because it's a bit loose, and then the live and neutral out. So some do that a little bit more because these are obviously a little bit thicker now. Like I say, it's all standard stuff. So we get those in the live. Make sure they push right in because obviously you don't want any wiggling out and causing an electrical fault. And the same with the neutrals. Pull that one out a bit more. I mean, if you're not confident, please, you know, don't mess with the electrics. I know I say it's pretty basic stuff, but like I say, I know a lot of people out there that ain't very confident when it comes to electricals. So if you're not confident, there's always someone you should know that will be a bit more confident in doing it, and it's worth just getting them to do this last connection part. It really is, you know, not that hard to do, but it's always better safe than sorry, shall we say. No one wants an electric shock or to burn anything, you know, risky animals. It's only because I'm sort of quite competent in some of the things I do. I don't mind doing it myself. Right, that one back in. You can see all the mats are running into those two, and this is running on to a plug which will go into the thermostat. That back on. Obviously it says bottom 3 on there, but this is actually the top 6, so I won't bother relabeling it because I know what's running what. I'll say it's old racking, so this was obviously one of the bottom rows. There would have been the bottom 3 levels, hence the bottom 3. I hope I'm getting all this on camera because I'm trying to concentrate and trying to show you guys. Hope you've enjoyed the first video, by the way, while I'm just screwing these up. As you can see, it's not the hardest thing in the world to build your own rack. Just need to be competent with a handsaw and a cordless drill, basically. That's all it takes. And a stapler, obviously, and I'm sure there's quite a few people out there who can handle their staplers. But right, let's get that last one done up. So that's the first 6 mats wired in. So what I'll probably do, because this is obviously them 6, I will split it in between those 6. So it goes out of the way. So the stack now, I'll say it's a 600 watt pole stack. You can see 600 watt pole stack. So what I'll do, I'll set up there for a minute. And then because I've got these 6 running on it, I'd say if I put it sort of midway, so we're looking on what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, row 6, we've got 7, 8 and 9 above. That should be fine, I think. And I don't know if you can see, I'll show you up here, I'm literally going to put it on the mat, on the heated part. It's obviously behind the tubs, but all I'm going to use is a bit of tape. So we'll tape this on there quickly, so I can show you what else I do. Nice strong duct tape, this one. You always don't go cheap quality, because what will happen is it'll end up falling off and then you'll be cooking some snakes, which is obviously the last thing you want to do. Yeah, so we get that out of the way, Right, so that's now on, and obviously, like I say, what's going to happen? If I can get the other stack out of the way. going to be, this is literally going to be plugging into your step. So that now, like I say, it's got no plug on it because I'm going to run it into one switch, which will be this here. So you'll know when the mats are on and when the mats are off because there's actually a light on this switch. But yeah, so that's them ones. I'll put this up the top out of the way. So those ones done. So now these three, what I'll do with these is I'll reuse this. Basically, this will be the same difference. It'll connect these mats together, which then in turn will connect them all to the stay at once. And it's pretty much the same. All this wire is here is an extension. So once this is the blues with the blue, shall we say, what will happen is it'll extend these mat wires all together through this plug and into one sort of switch. I don't think there's any need for a few switch here because we're only putting 3 mats together. That's nice and tight. One. The other half in there. Obviously, for those who don't know, I mean, I'll be surprised if you don't, but some people won't. Blue's neutral, brown is live. Like I say, it's only colour matching, so there's not too much to think about on there. Right, and then again, you'll just see lives to the lives, neutrals to the neutrals. I'll poke that in there a bit. The earth doesn't need to be in there, but in fact, see what I'll do. Let's just take that earth off. So now, we'll run that wire through the side. Put the cover on. Job done. So now again, we'll get the other stat. The bottom levels. And obviously we have the plug. We have our stat. Same again, plugged into the stat. So this one is 300 watt, which is why I'm using it only for those few mats. It's actually just an on-off stat, but I find they work fine. Pulse is obviously better, but again, I'm not buying the materials for this rack. All I'm doing is reusing what I've got, and this has worked for me for like the last few years and been absolutely golden. Obviously it's turned down at the moment, it'll be up here somewhere when it's on. But yeah, right, so now we'll move on to connecting these together and then onto a plug, and we'll switch on and see how it's looking. Sorry, just quickly, what I did realise is I didn't show you where that stat went. As you can see, this has gone on to number 3. So the sub-adult, we sort of say sub-adult, the grow-on tubs are run on one stat, hatchling tubs on another stat. But yeah, so now I'll move on to connecting the thermostats together and run them on a plug, and then we'll switch it on and see if they're all working. Right, so now what I'm going to do, as you can see, we've got this fuse switch, and basically when you look in these, they're pretty straightforward. So you get in your shop, you have supply and load. Basically the supply is obviously the supply of power, and the load is what you're trying to power. So basically this will be going to the plug, like these 3 here will be going to the plug. You got the earth, neutral, live, and then these will be going to the thermostats, which is your neutral, live and your earth. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll connect these 2 up. I will be screwing everything sort of to the side here so it's on view, but I'll connect them up, just show you how to do that, and then show you how I'm laying them out. And yeah, like I say, straightforward. again, I've got extra holes on here, so I might as well put them individual. One there, one through there. Nope, I'm wrong side now. Right, so what I'll do though is I will. These are a bit tatty, these wires, so what I'll do, I'll quickly strip those again. These ones don't look as bad, they're a bit fluffed up, but there's no wire missing from these. The other ones were a bit thin. I'll straighten those out a bit. Right, so we'll connect them. I mean, all I do is twist them together. I know there is other ways, like of interwinding them, but as far as I'm concerned, once they're screwed in, they ain't going to move anywhere anyway. So this is good enough to do the job. The electricians out there might point out that I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think there's much wrong. They hold together. And again, just get the earth. So now we have them all connected. So now, like I say, the supply is the plug, the load is your thermostat. So we go in with the earth first. I think that's a little bit long, so we'll trim that down. It's always worth making sure they fit in properly, because if they don't, there's always a chance of something touching, even though nothing really should move in there. Again, it's better safe than sorry. So earth in there. And then on this particular one, you've got the live second. So they will differ slightly, these switches. Do that a little bit. But they all have the same concept. It's all live neutral earth in load, supply, or in and out. You know, obviously with in and out, it will be in is your power source, out is what you load. There we go, that one. Neutral a little bit. So I'm only using this stuff because it is just all spare equipment that I've got lazing around in my man cave. I'm quite lucky like that. I've had a lot of racks over the years that I've dismantled. I'm going to go in. You know, I've dismantled and now they're, you know, coming in handy. Always one that decides to be a pain in the backside. And there goes the stab in the finger. So you go in there. There we go, in at long last. So that's those in. So now what else I've got is I have just a piece of wire with a plug on the end. Again, it's one of them that you can have your wire as long as you like. I like keeping them a little bit longer, just so that it gives me a bit more free range of where if I want to move anything. It doesn't need to be as long, but it makes no difference, to be honest. Plug down. Go for one of the different holes with this. Obviously you've only got the single wires on these ones. A lot easier to work with. So when you bunch up multiple wires, it gets quite tricky. Right, so like I say, supply. First one on this side is live. Again, it needs a bit of undoing. I say this part, always make sure you get a nice tight connection. There aren't anything shaking loose. And the neutral. Slightly undone. There we go. Trying to keep myself out of the way, but then obviously I'm trying to see what I'm doing at the same time. So you have to bear with me, I'm not used to filming this sort of stuff. I say normally I'll be fast forwarding, but I'm trying to show you guys exactly how straightforward these can be. Right, so that is literally all the wires done now. What I'll do is put this cover back on. I know racks can cost an absolute arm and a leg. This is why I build my own, because I find these work perfectly fine and they're a lot cheaper to build. Right, let's just get this mess off the top of here. Right, so what I'll do, so you can see, I'll put both stats at the top. I'll get them to out there for a minute. So I've got both stats down. Wait a minute, it keeps wanting to fall down. Right, both stats, I'll set them both at about 32. Now let's get it plugged in. The moment of truth. Right, so plugs in. So in theory now, when I switch this on, both stats should go on. So we'll see. There you go. A light on this one and a light on that one. So basically, even when this switches off, it's just the power source. You see it's about 80 degrees up here at the moment. But yeah, so that is the wiring side of things. These mats should start heating up in a minute. But yeah, job done. I'm going to literally get them screwed to the side here. Push it back into place. And that's pretty much everything that needs doing. Right, so something else to add just before the rack goes back in. This is Corex, it's called. Basically what I do is this goes along the back, tucked in, and it'll give a nice seal. We'll take the size yet, obviously. It'll give a nice seal to the back end of the racking just to contain some of that heat. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly cut this up. I'll be stapling it on, obviously avoiding wires. But yeah, I'll cut this and show you what it looks like once it's on. As you can see, all stapled on, all insulated from the back. Down the middle, obviously you've got the wire sitting behind here. So we'll run out at the bottom. But yeah, I'll push this back into place and everything's on. Push it back into place and I mean, it's getting hotter and hotter up here. I think it's because I'm up here. But yeah, I'll get it in place and we'll see how it's looking. Right, as you can see, we're all in place. Got the thermostats. And same with getting to the plug if I want to switch everything off. Use this one here, which obviously I won't be doing once there's snakes in there. But yeah, for a few hours work, it's looking quite nice. What I'll do now is I'll quickly show you how I set up a tub for the hatchlings, just so you know, so you can see what I do. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this part. It's now a working rack. So, hatchling tubs, that's how they are. Literally, with a goo pot, just for their water, and a nice little flower pot with a hole. I'll melt the hole out with a soldering iron, obviously to give it no sharp edges, and it tells you not to break. But yeah, that's what they live in for the first bit of their life. I find it helps them think they're nice and secure, gets them feeding well. But yeah, they do like a flower pot. But yeah, that's it. So fingers crossed I'll have some hatchlings soon, and we'll start putting them in here. So guys and girls, that's it for the video. As you can see, it's now up here, it's on. So what I'll do over the next couple of days, I'll leave it running, just make sure the temperatures are all fine. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of space for grow-ons, hatchlings, and like I say, it really isn't the hardest thing in the world to do. I am sort of fairly competent when it comes to DIY, but you know, it really is pretty straightforward. You can actually go to somewhere like B&Q and they'll pre-cut the timber to size for you. But yeah, so don't be scared to try this at home. It'll save you a lot of money when it comes to purchasing racks, especially if you plan on breeding a few, because obviously, like I say, I know it's only 18 tubs, but 3 or 4 clutches easy should fit in here. I do have spares just in case. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't seen it already, watch the first video so you can see where it started, because obviously this one's about the end of it. But yeah, thanks again. Speak to you soon.